Thank you, Lord Mayor. Lord Mayor, I don't have a crystal ball, and despite all the advancements in AI, I can't read your mind. I can't read the minds of anyone that sits in this room. But if I mentioned the name Nelson Mandela, what springs to mind? Well, the first thing I suspect would be a warm smile written all over your face, enriched with the memories we have all had for Nelson Mandela, a world statesman, a beacon of justice, someone held in the highest regard. And if I mention the name Noam Chomsky, the father of modern linguistics, and I'm confident that what immediately comes to mind is intelligent, thoughtful, just, and measured. And when I think of Norman Finkelstein, the words passionate, articulate, an ardent pursuer of justice comes to mind. And the three men that I've mentioned, none of them in the model world will be labeled as militants or extreme or frankly labeled as anti-Semitic. To label them in such a way would be ridiculous, outrageous, especially when one knows that two of them are of Jewish faith. But they have one thing in common. These men, glued together, they share one powerful ideal, an unyielding ideal, which is that humankind can live together in a way that is peaceful and harmonious. And the three men that I referred to have been unwavering critical of the Israeli policy to the question of Palestine and a two-state solution. To be critical of Israel, and in doing so, and being accused of being anti-Semitic, is an utterly laughable conflation. It's the enemy of common sense to those that think like that. It would be akin to attacking the policies of Putin, the Putin government, and in doing so, being accused of being a racist. And that's why it's important to talk about injustices, wherever they occur. And I'm not afraid to do so. Who will forget the words of Martin Luther King, "Injustice anywhere is a threat to justice everywhere." Of course, I now stand here delivering this speech. There will be some, I have no doubt, which may be saying, Cllr Khan, anti-Semite, his speech anti-Semitic. And I say, how dare you? How dare you make such a remark? I will be prepared to scrutinize and hold any government or organization, because what bonds us together as human beings is not our faith, not our color, not our creed. What bonds us as human beings is the able to stand up and say, that's wrong, and not be afraid to say it. If I see evidential inconsistencies, I'm bound to call them out. There is much conflicting information that comes out of wars. Lord Mayor, when we were young, all of us in this room thought that justice came automatically, that good prevails over bad. But as we grow older, we realize that that's not the case. It's individual human beings who create justice, men and women, Christian, Jews, Muslims, Sikhs, Buddhists, people of no faith, all tied together as brothers and sisters, one family committed to the pursuit of justice. I stand here as a councillor for all people, and I'm confident and committed to fight for rights of all. And the struggle and plight of the Palestinian people is great. It's a great injustice, and I don't have all the answers, but I'm not afraid to say the injustices and plight of the Palestinians is one of the greatest tragedies of modern history. But let me make it clear and unequivocal. What happened on the 7th of October was appalling, and I send out my heartfelt condolences to those affected by what happened. But to look at the 7th of October without context, the equivalent of watching a movie without the first 60 minutes or something like that. Context is important. Without the context, there is a real danger of having a skewed picture, an unbalanced picture, unfair picture. And Lord Mayor, 7 minutes is nowhere near what one needs when dealing with the Palestinian and Israeli conflict. But let me just deal with these points. The significance of looking at context, the bigger picture. 75 years of living in conditions that international organizations have criticized as open-air prisons. Occupation, killing of, by IDF soldiers, settlers that throw kids and set them on fire, kids that are throwing stones and being shot and killed, thousands held in detention without any charge. Now, that's not, Lord Mayor, I don't say this by trying to disregard what happened on the 7th of October. 2 wrongs never make a right, and 3 wrongs definitely don't make a right. And I ask all people to cry out for injustice. Cry out for the injustice to the civilians killed in Israel, but let's also, the same people, cry out for the injustice faced by the civilians in Gaza today. 10,000 killed. 4,000 children. And it's in that context that I bring this motion, Lord Mayor. We as a city, Birmingham, a sanctuary for those fleeing oppression and subjugation. And if we can do it for one nation, we can do it for another. I move this motion in my name, Lord Mayor. Thank you very much.
Thank you.